Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV. Sorry about the delay. As I say, lateness is greatness. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. I had a bit of technical difficulties with a laptop. It just would not work. So apologies for that if you was waiting to come on. So I am, 16 minutes late. So big apologies to everybody. If you are watching, again, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. If you're new, we are talking about a lot of football tonight, transfers, a lot of stuff that happened over the weekend, a lot of games, refereeing decisions, you name it, sagas, the Man United sagas, so much to talk about. And so we are going to delve in quickly into business tonight. And I've got Big D waiting in the green room, so I'm going to add him to the stream now. So welcome, Big D. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. You're not bad, yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Them technical issues, man.
Yeah, man. Technical issues.
Always away. Yeah, always away.
I know, mate. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. But yeah, we are gonna crack on with the show. And again, apologies to everybody if you was waiting, technical issues. But lot to talk about. And so let's go through it. But before we do that, D, how are we doing?
Yeah, doing okay, mate. Doing okay.
Yeah.
The sun is out. So there's no complaints here, you know what I mean? Work is work.
Big up to the missus. Yeah. She tried to help me out to no avail, crashed the computer, got back in. So thank you, Jay.
Good stuff. Sometimes you got to do that, man. Like I said, sometimes I just press the off button, hold it down, let everything just...
We did that. We held it down, we crashed it, came back in, still nothing. Like, I don't know. But then, somehow it started to work now. So, yeah, this is the first time I've had anything like this happen to me.
Yeah.
Went into a bit of a panic mode. I did help you out. Yes, you did help me out by turning off the laptop. You know, she's an IT. She's meant to be IT. So
Jancy's the guru. Jay's the guru.
You know it goes. You know how it goes. But yeah, we have got a lot to get through tonight. And we are gonna. We've got Kofi coming in there, Mr. Kofi Klopp. So let me just add him to the stream. Yes, Mr. Klopp, how you saying, bro? You good?
Hello.
Well, you're on time, Kof, because we had a bit of technical difficulties with getting the thing started. I don't know what happened to the laptop. It just started to do some craziness on me, but we're here. So before we crack into the show tonight, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you.
Yeah, all good. You all happy?
Of course, you got to be happy. Like a couple of games into the season, you started well.
And I suppose to a point, the PGMLO had a little bit of consideration and pity over McAllister withdrawing the rescinded red card.
Has it been rescinded?
A red card.
Yes, it's been rescinded. Yeah, so we will talk about it.
Liverpool,
we will talk about it. You know what I mean? Liverpool. You know what I mean?
That all season we're gonna have these conversations about.
And you said it. You said it. We're going to be talking about this.
Yeah, man.
Just 2 seconds. I don't know what's happened to my lights. It's decided to. There you go.
Yeah.
A bit better. I was thinking, why does it look so dark in here? All right. Yeah. So it got rescinded, but we will talk about that in a little bit. But So your Kofi, you all good. Other than that. Yeah, that's all good. Chile is out in the cornfields. He's going to try and join us later towards the end of the show where we discuss the Ange Ball. So we're going to just let you know what we're going to be talking about tonight, and that's obviously the Premier Review and your player ratings. Can Mason resurrect? And I'm not talking about Mason Mount. I'm talking about Mason Greenwood. Can he resurrect his career again? Ref Watch, obviously we're going to be delving into a little bit of Ref Watch this week. Ange Ball has transformed the Spurs. Will this reap them rewards this season? And we're going to go with the WGO prediction game week 3. We're going to be predicting game week 3 and the What's Going On Fantasy League shout out, which Big D will be doing at the end of the show. And I know there's some movers and shakers in there. So Jay's been on there. Obviously, she was a little bit upset that Haaland didn't score this week, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But listen, we are gonna crack on. So first of all, let's sort of tackle the first game of the weekend, and that was the Friday night. But just before I cast my eyes on the Werder Bremen Bayern Munich game, where Harry Kane scores his debut goal for Bayern Munich.
Saw that. Nice.
I thought with interest, I thought let me watch this game. Obviously, his debut coming into the Super Cup didn't really work out too well. Them losing to Leipzig 3-0 and him not still getting a trophy. But hopefully he might get a trophy with Bayern Munich this year. Can that be the Bundesliga? Will that be Champions League? Will that be the Super Cup? Who knows? But he did score in that game, and I think he did an assist as well. So it's a good start for him. It seems like the fans really love him as well. He's wearing that number 9 shirt, and I think he will score goals. What do you think, guys? Did you watch the game? And what were your thoughts on it before we delve into the Nottingham Forest Sheffield United game?
Yeah, I did see some of the highlights of that game. He looks like he's settling in all right, to be honest. And once he gets a little bit more understanding between Sane and who else, all the other forward lines, then they will be more than a goal threat, like with him there. So it was interesting to see how he's going to fit in with the other strikers as well. So
I think like scoring on your full debut as well, that just takes so much pressure off him now, because he's got one in the bag. And I think that's always you move to a new club and getting that first goal. If you go 3 or 4 games and you can't score, then fans start coming. But him to score now, he's going to be more relaxed when like his next start.
Yeah, especially it's a away game as well. So
as you said, Kofi, by then he would have had a few more training sessions with that front three and figure some stuff out. Because I saw him still coming deep a little bit, like just to stay involved. And that's just been a Harry thing anyway, where if it feels like nothing's coming to him quickly, he sort of drops into that number 10 role and looks to touch the ball and spin off and run. So to get the goal, I think fantastic for him, because that just settles him down and takes all the pressure off him. Because the commentators, like they'll constantly lean on that narrative until he scores. But now he's scored, it's like I've got one. So that's my nerves out. That's out the way. Now I can just play my Harry Kane football. So I expected about 30 goals now. Easily.
Yeah, I was just gonna you took that words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say, do you expect him to win the Golden Boot over there?
I'll be shocked if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you do expect 25, 30.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because he'll get the service.
And it's not as tough as the Premier League. And if he can bang 30 goals in the Premier League, he could be hitting the Haaland levels. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But but it's funny because I even on Sky Sports, I've never seen so much feed. Now he's gone over there, for the German league. It's
unbelievable, isn't it? All of a sudden,
okay, Harry's over there, so now I'm getting bare Bayern Munich feeds on my Sky Sports link. I'm like, these guys, man.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd watch the game. I mean, it was a good. I mean, it started off slow, but then once they got the goal, I think it was Sane that got the first goal. He got the first goal, and then literally second half, I think they went in 1-0 up, or was it 2-0? I can't remember, but I flicked over because I was trying to catch bits of the Nottingham Forest Sheffield United game. Obviously watching it. It wasn't on TV, but I was watching it by other means necessary. You know what I mean? So
I think the second goal, I think it was Harry Kane's goal, didn't come till like the 70.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So listen, he's got his debut goal. So long may it continue. And he's now with a new club. Left his boyhood club to now join Bayern Munich and try and win a trophy or some trophies. So we're moving on to the Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest Sheffield United game. And this was the game week 2 that I predicted a 2-0. So I was quite pleased when I looked on the football app to see that Sheffield United had scored early with Taiwo Mwenieri, if I pronounce his name right. After 3 minutes, an assist from Serge Aurier, making it 1-0. So I was thinking, well, listen, Sheffield United are one of the teams that are poised to definitely, or look like they could end up going back down into the Championship. So 1-0 down after 3 minutes. You're thinking, they're going to go on and do this, and obviously I wanted them to win it 2-0 so I can get those maximum 3 points. And then not my delight. When I saw 1-1 goal by Gustavo Aimar, I was thinking, oh no, 1-1. It's 48 minutes, and then I was trying to check in the game. I was thinking 1-1. I need to get a point at least. You know what I mean? I needed Sheffield United to do it, and then Chris Woods comes in the 89th minute. Again, another assist from Serge Aurier. From a nice headed goal from deep, he wins the game 2-1, and Nottingham Forest go on and win that game 2-1. So as I said, Sheffield United, I think it's going to be tough for them. It's really, if anything, it's going to be home form. Even though they lost last week to Crystal Palace, I think that was 1-0. I think home form was the thing that's going to help them. But at the moment, no points on the table. So really, I don't know. I do think they're one of a betting to definitely go down. End of the campaign. So we'll see what happens. So that was the Nottingham Forest game. Then we move on to the Saturday games, and we'll start off with the Fulham-Brentford game, where Brentford came away with 3-0 winners away to Fulham. Fulham haven't started too well this season, and Brentford, let's just go to the beginning of the game. So you had Wisa scoring in the 44th minute. So it was quite. I mean, just before half time, it was 0-0, and then in the 44th minute, Johan Wisa getting the first goal, and then in the 64th minute, Tim Ream for Fulham, he gets a second. I think it's a second yellow.
Second yellow. That's right. Second yellow. Yeah, second yellow. Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a penalty, and that's why Brian Mbomo scores that penalty in the 66th minute. To make it 2-0, and literally they wrapped it up. Again, another Brian Mbomo goal. This guy, I like this guy. He's a good little. He kind of plays out wide, but he looks like he can play. Well, he plays as a striker. With Ivan Toney not in the side.
Last season he gave Van Dijk trouble. So
yes, listen, Popper gave him some trouble. And
he's a pace and power man, isn't he? He's a pace and power man.
Yeah,
and he, like I say, he's got his feet are good, as we're seeing already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so they win that game comfortably 3-0 away from home. So Brentford off the mark. I think when I say off the mark, they drew with Tottenham their first game of the season was 2-2 draw with Tottenham, and Tottenham scoring in that game first actually. I think it was Romero scored, but then Brentford came back into the game, actually took the lead, and then Tottenham obviously equalised in that last game. Yes, big up to you, Tom. How you doing, bro? Geezer.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah. So so Fulham, they're another team that we looking over the shoulder alongside Everton. We will come to Everton as well, but Fulham, the manager was pushing to leave this summer, but I don't know whether the club persuaded him to stay by saying that we will offer you funds to get players. And I think there was talk about him. I don't know if he was linked with going to the Saudi league.
Right, about to ask you that. Like with Mitrovic, is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's
gone.
He's no more.
Because I remember he was forcing it, but I just had to go on to the sub bench. I thought he's not on the sub bench either.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. And Fulham, obviously they need a striker. We are playing them next. We got them next on Saturday at home. So I don't hold that much hope for them. So their campaign has definitely not gone off to a good start either. And they're going down 3-0 to Brentford. And then we move on to the Kofi's team. And it was an interesting game, to say the least. Liverpool 3, AFC Bournemouth 1. Now, for the first 20 minutes, Kofi, explain what was happening with Liverpool, please. Please, mate. I mean, you was probably pulling your hair out, mate, because, bro, the defending.
The defensive frailties in that team has just shocked me, like, how bad we are, like, defending. You know, two people are marking the same player, can't even recognize the danger, and we just look all over the place. Van Dijk, I don't know why he's captain, to be honest, because he should be calling out some things, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, where's your head? You're not even like thinking about it and seeing the bigger picture. And he exposed Trent. Trent made a bad pass.
Yep.
And there we go, 1-0.
Yeah. And you I mean, okay, listen, I think my missus saw she was watching the game, and after 55 seconds, they had the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
55 seconds,
exactly.
At Anfield. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it was called offside, which it was. But then, the playing out from the back and then getting Trent caught with that bad back pass. And then the guy that scored that goal for Bournemouth, his name is let's just get his name. Ooh,
but even the fact that
Anton Semenyo or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Van Dijk and Robertson got muddled up to who they were supposed to be marking, and I just don't see how Van Dijk can be a good captain.
So who should be your captain now?
I said Robertson,
because you've lost a lot of leaders there. You know what I mean?
I said Robertson. Robertson is more vocal than Van Dijk. Van Dijk doesn't command that area that well anymore. So you need somebody who's really vocal, who's going to be talking constantly, because Van Dijk is not that much of a talker like that. I don't think so.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Robinson, are they going to understand his thick accent? Especially the foreign players.
You have to look at these things, to understand it for so long. So they should.
Hey, Jimmy. Why, hey, Jimmy?
Because even, I did say Trent to be captain, but the way Trent is playing, I don't know. Yeah. Trent has had some good minutes.
So you wouldn't give it to Mo? You wouldn't give it to Salah?
Yeah.
Because if
why is that? Why wouldn't you give it to Salah? He does the talking on the pitch, so So,
yeah, but I really don't see Salah as the one to give those instructions to everyone else when Salah can't even. He gets angry when he gets taken off. Is that really a captain's?
Yeah, he pulls at Rashford. You saw what Rashford did.
Exactly.
Just like, come on, man. Like, how old are you guys? You know what I mean? It's not good. But the thing is, Kofi, he only leaves you with Alisson as a senior player. Everyone else is fairly new. If you look at McAllister, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota.
Yeah, that's another
You're running out of options, then you to put the armband on. After what you let go, if that makes sense, as in the players that left. Yeah, Millie, there you go. Millie's captain. Sorry, Jay, he's gone, man. He's gone far away.
Mate. Yeah. He's got the Brighton.
But you know what? As the game went on, we grew into the game, and Diaz, this guy is going to be so pivotal to us this season, especially like where we're still in that transition phase, and yes, we do have a good forward line, but I just see more of our attacks coming from the Diaz side than opposed to, I think, Trent.
It was a good goal, good assist from Salah, getting a lot of joy down that right hand side, and a very good goal by Diaz in the 28th minute. And you're thinking, okay, game on. Do you know what I mean?
To be honest, My concern is Nunes. Will he be frozen out this season because we've got?
Well, he came on. I mean, he came on in. I'm sure with about 10 minutes to go. It was quite late on.
It was late. So
what do you think about that? The fact that he, you spent what did you spend on this guy? What, 70+ million?
Yeah, it cost some
nearly 80 million.
About 80 million pounds. So
and he's only coming on for like 10, 15 minutes here and there. I mean, what do you think is going through his head?
I think Klopp prefers Jota with more experience in playing the 4-3-3 role than he does with Nunes, and obviously Jota's a little bit more potent in front of goal, whereas you saw from last season the amount of chances Nunes had in front of goal and his finishing was not up to the scratch of somebody who should be playing those forward lines. So
Kofi, you have to ask the question: was he a club purchase or was he a Klopp purchase? Because he looks like he's a club purchase to me.
That's the thing.
And we see this a lot with the big clubs where the club are purchasing players for the manager rather than that's what the manager wanted. And I feel like if Klopp wanted him, Klopp would find a way to make him work.
So I go back to the suggestion that was it another panic buy from the club because they saw Manchester City make it kind
of felt like that. It did kind of feel like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you did have your eyes on him a long time, but it did feel like that. And they nicknamed him Darwin Noodles because man was coming on and they were kind of comparing him, to Haaland in terms of goals and that, same kind of stature, big, strong. Do you know what I mean? And he was scoring when he, before he came, he was at Benfica. Was it Benfica?
Yeah, Benfica. But he only had one good season. He only had one good season with Benfica. So for Liverpool to suggest that that's something to go on in terms of him being a prolific striker, I question.
But the other thing about Liverpool as well, because they, like Man City, played with like a false nine. Yeah, they played with like a false nine. So they didn't play with an out-and-out striker because when you had Bobby Firmino there, he wasn't like, do you know what I mean? He was kind of like that floating. Do you know what I mean? That number 10, but you know what I mean. So for me, when he came in, it was about him adapting to the system, and the same similar thing with Haaland. First couple of games, Man City had to get used to, playing with Haaland, being that focal point. Now, when Darwin Nunes came in, it was the kind of same thing because, the balls were played out wide from the fullbacks to Salah. Salah would get cutting on, obviously, on his left because that's his best suited. And the same on the right-hand side, you've got that Diaz doing the business. So now you've got this focal, striker. I suppose the question is trying to get used to it. And of course, I suppose the question is, have you got used to it? Or, is because the fact that Klopp is still not playing him and trusting him to start games. Yeah,
but then because he's got options in terms of Gakpo can go in that position.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. It looks like Gakpo's getting... I mean, Gakpo's playing more as...
Gakpo's playing behind.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. He's playing more in that sort of deep... picking up the ball deep. And then you've got... what's
Jota.
His name? Jota, yeah.
So Jota usually would play that role if Firmino was not available. Obviously, Firmino is gone. So Jota feels that space better because he's a little bit more direct. But then sometimes I question Jota's finishing.
Would you play Gakpo as an 8 before, now that you've got this Waka, whatever his name is, Enzo. Let's just go with Enzo.
Let's call him
Endo. Yeah. Now that you're coming now, guy who plays as a DM, proper DM number 6, and you've got him from Stuttgart, who, funny enough, got relegated.
But to be honest, I was impressed with his.
Yeah, when he come on, he just kept it neat and tidy. You had to bring him on because obviously the situation with McAllister getting that straight red card, which obviously it was soft, and a lot of the pundits said the same thing about it. Just going back to the Nunes and also the midfield situation. So with Nunes not being able to still start. And he prefers, Gakpo now, because Gakpo will probably now play more further forward. Sorry, I've got my missus talking loud while I'm on a live show. So these typical Liverpool supporters.
Come on, sing it.
Right. Please. Yeah, I'm professional. Right, yeah. So
God, that's funny.
Anyway, you listen. It's early days. You know what I mean? Maybe somehow Klopp will sort of bring him more into the fold. He'll probably play more cup games and the Champions League games. Possibly. You know what I mean? So in terms of your attacking, you've got a very good attacking 5-6. Do you know what I mean? Which is really good. And then going back to what's his name? Trent playing in that midfield. People are saying maybe it's time to maybe put him back at that right back because maybe he's not really getting used to the position.
He's playing inverted, Kofi, right? He's playing inverted. So he's starting at basically he's starting at right back, right? But then
coming in
inverted, and they're going back to the back three. And
so sometimes you see Konate going out and filling his position, while Trent is moving into that midfield, because obviously once he's pushing beyond halfway, then somebody's got to cover that area of space.
What some people are saying, and some fans and pundits are saying, is that maybe he has to learn that role a bit more. I think he's made a couple of mistakes. Do you know what I mean? In that role, maybe understanding that role a little bit more. So he's not playing him as an out-and-out midfielder. He's playing this inverted thing, just like Pep is doing all madness with his defenders. Inverted centre back, inverted right back, inverted left back, you name it. And then Arsenal, obviously, we're trying to adapt that inverted left back and that right back with Partey playing at right back, which I'm a little bit confused. But listen, we've won 2 games.
I can believe that one. Partey at right back. I was like, what's that?
So
but it's shoehorning, isn't it, Norm? It's shoehorning.
That's what it's about. I will come on and talk about that when it comes to our game. But
you know what? In terms of overall performance, I would probably give us 7. Even though we won, I'll give us a 7 because the overall performance of the game was a little bit shaky, even in the second half towards the end of the game as well. So because they had chances. Bournemouth, they were pushing us back, and they could have scored towards the end of the game. So
Giggs is saying, do Liverpool fans trust the manager at the moment?
I think they do. It's more they don't trust FSG, to be honest, anymore. I mean, they're the ones behind them. Klopp giving the budget, and they're not really seeing what FSG really want to do in terms of supporting Klopp.
I think they're frustrated with losing out on 2 major, targets in Caicedo and Lavia. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the Liverpool fans, have had to, eat humble pie concerning that, and obviously they're frustrated about that they haven't. It's not to say that they haven't been back, and then the question is asked: Is it because is it because Liverpool are not attractive anymore? Is it the fact that Lavia and Caicedo have only gone there for the money? What is it? Why?
The thing is, it's now going to be a knock-on effect, because every time we do go into the transfer window, then the same thing is going to happen with Liverpool. There's obviously some issues going on, underlying issues which we don't know, but obviously it's taking form in terms of we're not looking attractive, and we're in the Europa League, and probably that is also another factor. Liverpool being in, it's still good competition, but everybody sees Liverpool or have seen Liverpool a long time, Champions League team, and players will look at it like, well, they're looking a little bit average at the moment, and they're not putting their money where their mouth is. In some sense,
there has to be but I hear that, Kofi. But if you look at when we had Mourinho playing Europa, and both Pogba and Zlatan came to United, even though they knew we weren't going, and look, you had a clear run at McAllister, which I was kind of miffed about that nobody else jumped in on McAllister, because I rate him. I thought, how Liverpool had a clear run to just release that clause and get this man with without nobody. And I expected Chelsea at least, or even Newcastle to have challenged.
But you see, the thing is, it was quite a surprise. No, but what I said, it was quite a surprise by a lot of teams. I mean, fans as well. That the fact that he had a release clause said it was £35 million.
Yeah.
So that was a shock, because if you think about it, the expectation, and especially he had a fantastic World Cup. Yeah. People had in their head that this guy was going. We was linked with him, and we was giving all sorts of figures like 70 million, 80 million. Yeah. So for Liverpool to get in there, they've done their due diligence by going. Sitting down with the agents and that. So what I'm trying to say is the other clubs should have done the same. Now Liverpool
but if Arsenal had gone in there with a £60 million bid, surely Brighton got to look at that. And say that you're bidding up the clause.
Yeah, but this is what would have happened. Arsenal would have ended up being called a banter club, because the fact that we've gone in there with a £60 million bid when he had a buyout clause of 35 million. Yeah, you don't go. If the guy's got a 35 million buyout clause, why are you going in with 60 million?
Yeah,
because you're going to go in and say, could you trigger that? It's not like the buyout clause was going to be triggered the following year. It's now available.
So this is probably me not understanding the clause. Just say the buyout clause is 35 million, and Liverpool only want the 35 million. If I say, okay, I'll pay 45 for him and 5 million add-ons, Brighton wouldn't sell to me.
But the thing about it is, and I hear what you're saying in terms of, I was surprised because he was linked with a number of clubs.
Yeah, because I think it's me not understanding. Yeah. Like, is it the first club to trigger the buyout? That's where he has
basically,
to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Because once you trigger that thingy, you have to then, whatever's written in his thing. Now, it was the same thing with Thomas Partey. Yeah, right on deadline day, we triggered these buyout calls of 45 million, and there was nothing that Atletico Madrid can do.
Yeah, and
it's just the same. It's written in his contract. That was the buyout clause, and that's why they had a buyout clause for McAllister. So my thing is, if we went in there and said, right, we're going to pay 50 million, people are going to turn around. All right, it could turn out well, but why are you paying an extra 15, 20 million when his buyout clause is 35 million? Go and get the guy, because now if he does well for Liverpool, and 3 years down the road, if he decides to leave and Real Madrid are looking at him or whatever, he's going to be worth. He's still young. He's going to be worth a lot of money. So Liverpool have done well in getting him on the cheap.
I think that's what I was really understanding. That nobody, no one said I'll pay 5 or 6.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense then, because then you're if it's a 35 million. Listen, I know what you're saying, because at the end of the day, if Brighton, but because it's written in his contract, and the first person to come and trigger it, that's it.
So it's literally the first person. Team
that
that's how I'm trying to understand.
That's my understanding.
But then with the Labour deal, were Chelsea the first to trigger that?
But Lavia didn't have a
release clause. Right. Okay.
There was no release clause.
Yeah. I thought there was actually.
No. Because what happened? If you think about Lavia. When they were Liverpool, think about it. If Lavia did have a buyout clause, Liverpool would have done that. What they did is they started off like low balling. Yeah,
that's true.
Southampton wanted 50 million. Yeah. Liverpool started bidding at about 35, and they just and they dug their heels in and whatever. Then there was talk. Then you're thinking, because Arsenal, we was looking at him. He's a young talent. There was a lot of clubs looking at him. Especially Arsenal, not Man City. Well, Man City maybe, but they do their things really quiet. But definitely Arsenal, and even to some point maybe Man United, because Man United needed a midfield, a young midfielder with legs, because obviously Casemiro, he needs somebody alongside him. We will come to that, D. I know we'll come to that. So with the situation with Lavia, he didn't have a buyout clause, from my understanding. It was just a case of Liverpool went low balling like Arsenal. We'll do it. You don't just go in and say whatever. You go in and test the waters, and they just dug their heels in. And then Chelsea, it will just pay for anything that moves. Yeah, they've just turned around and said, right, okay, you don't want him, and then literally they got the Casado deal over the deal, and then you got desperate. You ended up bidding 111 million. Yeah, thinking it's over the line, and then Chelsea comes in there, bang, 115 million, thank you very much. And then Caicedo did turn around and say, well, actually, and Lavia turned around and said, I don't want to play at Liverpool. I want to play at Chelsea. And so I'm saying, has Liverpool lost that pool? Or is it because it's just the fact that it's in London and, you know what I mean, Chelsea are probably going to pay more wages and more money?
No, you have to look at that as well, Norm, right? You have to look at this, right? Like, there must have been assurances given for Liverpool to go and show their hand like that. And if you look at it, I feel like there's been a bit of a snakiness going on there. You know what I mean? Because maybe the way it was done was to entice Chelsea to pull their finger out. But Liverpool...
agents do that all the time.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool have always been smart in their business, Kofi, right? So for Liverpool,
I think this occasion they were smart.
No, I think they were. I think there was a
no, but if they were, why they lost that on 2 targets?
If you're smart,
D, what I'm trying to say, if they're giving assurances, that he's going to come, and they've put in their 111 million and it's been accepted, Brighton accepted it. But you saw it. Everybody's saying Caicedo to Liverpool.
Yeah, but if
Fabrizio came out and said, "Here we go."
Yeah, but
if you're smart, you don't show your hand like that because obviously,
and that's what Liverpool did. They showed their hand.
He looked like
I think it was. I can't remember who it was. They said the moment that was agreed, like Liverpool should have been on the phone to a helicopter company, and the chauffeur.
You said that last time. Yeah.
Go pick him up, put him in a helicopter, get him to I didn't say Carrington. To your training ground.
Well, wherever it is. What's the other Anfield? Is it? What's the name of your training ground? Melwood.
Yeah, Melwood. Right, like he's there, and you say, "Well, since you're here, let's do that. Let's do this. We've agreed a fee. Let's do this." But to allow him to sit and be enticed in London, or because I'm going to assume he lives in London. A lot of Brighton players live in London and travel down. It's an easy commute. So you left him there after you agreed a fee. Now get him out of London. And these things, because you have to remember, right? They know their commodities, right? And they know that their heads can be easily turned. And the moment there was a whisper that Chelsea were like, whoa, don't let him sign a Liverpool contract yet. We ain't finished. Straight away, he's like, oh, I can stay in London. Come on, man. It's not what Liverpool normally do, and that's why I was shocked that happened. It's just not what you guys do.
I think, and to lose 2 major targets.
Yeah.
It within the space of 3-4 days, it's quite embarrassing. You know what I mean? And so that's why Liverpool fans are upset to a degree with Klopp, but more say they should be more upset with FSG. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think they can be upset with Klopp because he's not the one handling the negotiations.
I hear that, but I think you got to kind of look back on last season, the way you kind of finished. You know what I mean? Because Klopp didn't think he needed a midfield. Yeah, last season he said, "I don't need to go and buy a midfield. I'm okay with what I got." And basically, look what happened. You know what I mean? You finished strong towards the end, getting that 5th place, but a lot of people were not happy with Klopp and they were calling for his head because he didn't go into the market last season and your midfield got overrun loads of times. And then even now, this season, do you know what I mean? You've ended up losing. Now you've obviously got this Endo guy in because you've lost Fabinho, you've lost Henderson. So you've lost some, what I call leadership. Not necessarily legs, more about leadership in that middle of that park. And obviously Klopp is trying out, new ideas in terms of playing Trent as an inverted right back into that midfield, because you got to remember Trent started off as a midfield player. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? So obviously, he has to work on that. But just sort of finishing off on your game, Kofi. Obviously, you're winning the game 3-1. The penalty, Slobosly, a little bit dubious. He got touched in the box, and he got touched in the box. But man, diving, I'll give him a 10 out of 10.
It's absolute not diving. I beg.
Come on, mate. Come on.
Bro, these guys have learned how to leave their trail leg after they push the ball. It's like an art now.
It's not even like he left his leg. He just literally brushed his one, and it's the way he went over. It was soft.
Yeah, like he got shot in it. Like he got shot by a rifle.
The players, they all know how to manipulate that situation in the box. You've got to be on your feet. You can't put your leg out to suggest that you're going to make a tackle.
It was unbelievable. But listen, he gets the penalty. Mohamed Salah steps up, misses. Right, I know what you was thinking, Cole. When he went to take that penalty, because I know when I can't remember what team it was where he missed the goal completely.
You know what? Salah lately on penalties looked a little bit dodgy. It's just been, I mean, he's not. I don't know whether it's just he has his own way of taking penalties. He's not like the trend now where they stop and then try and clip it into the other corner or something like that. Yeah. So, but I expect Salah to do better with penalties.
Well, he got the rebound and then ended up getting a goal, because he ends up being an actual goal because of the rebound.
But he actually gets deducted for the penalty move on fantasy football. For the penalty miss, sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So
it's mad. He hurts you when he misses a penalty, even though he scores a rebound.
Yeah. He's not in my team. He's not in my team. Anyway, so.
Oh, listen, we'll come on to that, but let's move on quickly. Yeah. So listen, after Salah gets the penalty rebound, 58 minutes into the game, McAllister ends up seeing. And when you first see it, you're thinking, even when I first saw it, I was thinking, nah. Do you know what I mean? Think nothing of it.
That looked like a clear 50-50, but
50-50 ball.
When they break down the finer details to it and they slow it down, it always looks worse than what it is. So
But he gets to listen. At the end of the day, the PGLO have listened, and it was a judgment error on the referee, and the card obviously is now being rescinded, so he doesn't miss the next 3 games.
So Norman, are these guys going to jump in every week now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen,
offering apologies and rescinding.
Now
I expect this referee, Kofi, to not be able to referee next weekend because he messed up. You know what I'm saying? It won't happen. It's inconsistent, man. It's horrible.
You know what? It's not even that because he messed up. I think more so, why didn't they overlook because that decision on the day and say, okay, let me go to VIR again and see whether that really was, So
the ref didn't go to VIR. I missed that. I thought he did.
He just sent him off straight.
Right. So, but then this was what we were used to before VAR, where the refs and the linesman made that decision in the moment on the pitch, and we live with it. So it's like, what are we doing here? Are we doing the VAR or are we not? Because that's a joke to rescind the yellow card. The
issue is that they want to give referees a little bit more power to make their own decisions on what they see visually there and then. But
which is cool.
Brought in VAR to make those decisions for you, and now you're saying, referee, make that decision for yourself.
Yeah, but Kofi, hear me. If that is Casemiro, that ain't getting rescinded. Trust me on that. This is what I'm saying. It's very easy.
They got an agenda. It's not.
If that is Casemiro making that rash
on himself.
No. Hold on. That rash tackle.
Needs to slow down.
No. It's a labeling thing, right? This is a sprints midfielder. The moment he goes in hard, it's like, oh, that was a bit hard. Oh, what we playing? Netball. It's football. It's a tackle.
We all know Casemiro.
I understand.
I'm telling you, and like I said last week. Yeah, but I tell you what. I'm telling you now. If Man United appealed that, they had 2 more games onto that suspension.
Trust me. Anything at Old Trafford and you got Casemiro there, he ain't getting sent off.
He got dismissed twice last season, bro.
What?
But they're both red cards, mate.
The first one was probably. You know what? It doesn't matter. You have to remember, right? This is us now. This is Man United. It's like all the stuff that Fergie allegedly got away with. Now everyone's getting punished for that because of Fergie. Honestly, this is all about Fergie, man, and picking the wrong captain as well. Because just like how you said about your captain, I'm not sure about my captain either, because my captain whinges. He's going to get booked every game, Norm.
And this is the problem.
Every game he's going to get booked.
This new ruling of dissent, and even like with our player, I'll come on to that about our player getting sent off, Tommy Ashley getting sent off, and like time wasted and that. Because listen, time it's going to change the whole dynamics of football when it comes to them taking throw-ins. Because people are in the end are going to turn around and say, because Tommy Ashley spent 8 seconds, but it started off from Thomas Partey.
Passed the ball to him.
He gave the ball. Passed the ball.
I saw it.
And then Tommy. And then it was. But the problem was it was the second yellow card, which I thought was very, very soft. But
the thing is, right? The thing is, I think what they said that you've taken over 30 seconds to throw the ball in. It's like no, we're not doing that. So the referees will always be. They're just going to be looking at if you tap the ball away, yellow card. So. The players now got to reset their mindsets too.
They have to, So you're going to see. Away. I mean, listen, this weekend alone, something like 6 red cards this weekend.
It's insane. That's what I'm saying.
6 red cards this weekend, It's crazy.
But it's like Anderson got booked for time wasting with the ball as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So it is this time wasting thing. Listen, the referee.
He picked it up. He went that side. Then he put it down. He dribbled that side. He dribbled this side. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? Just pass to one of the defenders. So the referee's thinking, no, he's taking a pee. And then everyone starts kicking off. But we're going to lose good players.
We're going to see a lot of yellow cards. And you're going to see a lot more red cards this season because obviously the referees have sat down, the PSGO have sat down. And obviously, they've have to discuss it with the managers and the football clubs as well. And a lot of the football clubs are turning out and said, really, do you know, at the end of the day, they're making the decisions and there's nothing that we can do because they're not hearing what we've got to say.
But you'll have, as well, Norm, you'll have these, where I think, is it 5 yellow cards and then you get suspended for a game?
That's
something like that. This what's going to happen is that key players are going to miss out on big games because of dissent. Rather than bad fouls, where they're going
to have to, as you said, they're going to have to
miss the Manchester derby, the North London derby. You watch, you're going to lose key players in the big games because of soft yellow cards.
Soft yellow cards, and it's going to be this year. Will be soft yellow cards. Obviously, some leading to red. Some obviously because if you get too many of them, you end up missing key games. Craig says here, bring up you, Craig. You would never see Ten Hag play Casemiro at right back like
no chance.
And this is what I'm saying. I don't know what Arteta's doing. Listen, again, he's left.
He got away with it though.
He got away with it, but he's left Gabriel Magalhaes on the bench, leading to speculation that he could leave the club. But Arteta's come out and said it. Fabrizio's come out and said that he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going.
But play him then, no. Play him.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. This is what's frustrating is that he's not Pep. Arteta is not Pep. And you're trying to be cute and tricky and all of whatever you want to be because obviously, you're going to Crystal Palace and you probably looked at the way they play and the way they set up. And so you're saying that you need to, when you're on the attack, you need to overrun that their midfield by having more midfield players in there. But for me, it's unnecessary. And for me, you have the situation where Ben White last season when we was playing that 4-3-3, Ben White was overlapping Saka. You're not seeing that much because now Ben White now sits in as a one of the 3 defenders and moves across when Partey goes into that midfield. Declan Rice playing. I think Declan Rice played left of or played at the. I think in this game because you got man of match in that game, but I'll come and talk about that game. He played at the base of the
midfield 3,
of the midfield 3, and that. But he keeps changing it every week. We're gonna have to call him Tiki Taka Ranweri. You know what I mean? Because every minute is changing. But I hope it doesn't come to our detriment. Do you know what I'm going to say? I hope it really doesn't come to our detriment. And as I say, big up to you, mate.
Yeah, man. Big up, man.
I find crazy that Arteta still doesn't know his strongest 11. No, he doesn't. But listen, people are saying let's just trust him and see what happens. I don't know what's the point of having Havertz in there. That's another story. But listen, we'll come on to that. But listen, we're spending too long at these games. So just to say, Diego Jota in the 62nd minute gets the third goal, and Liverpool wrap it up with 10 men and go on and win the game 3-1. We move on to the Luton-Burnley game. Again, Luton, because of their pitches, the game was postponed. So now, remember, it's not Premier League.
It's not Premier League.
So is that one of them? Ah, wow.
So they're going to play a lot of games away from home before it gets sorted out. So that's why that game was.
The league have ever thought this, all they had to do was work something out with Watford, and let them out play their game, because it's just up the road, really, to Watford. It's not far.
I don't know what, in terms of, I don't know what kind of preparation in terms of them sitting down with, if that was the case.
Because I think they're building a new stadium.
They've got the timetables in terms of when Watford play at home and whatever. They've got to schedule it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
but I think
they play mostly away games until.
But I think Luton have got permission from the borough council to build a new stadium.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how the finances are to do it. But apparently, I think so, because one of the guys at work is a Luton fan, and he was telling me that.
Yeah, I think it's because obviously Luton have obviously come right up through the football pyramid, but their ground is still not of the standard. Yeah. Maybe, as I said, they probably didn't expect to make it to the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because even at the front, it's like two houses in a terrace, and you go through and then climb up the stairs to go into the. It's mad. Yeah. It's like, so what is this?
It's a bit crazy at the moment. So let's see what happens. But listen, if they end up staying in the Premier League, then I'm sure they will definitely go ahead and build a decent stadium. Do you know what I'm saying? So that game was postponed. Then we move on to Wolverhampton. Now, Wolverhampton had a fantastic game. Listen, they were unlucky to lose to Man United last week. But Brighton, 4 away from home. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Brighton are on fire. They're scoring
absolutely
goals.
On smoke, bro.
Right, that Matoma. Did you see that? Did anybody saw that Matoma goal?
Yeah. I should have put more on my goal tally in terms of that game, because I predicted that game that Brighton win.
I know. Yeah.
My
that's right.
Lord, yeah.
I think you predicted it. What did you predict it?
I said 2-1.
2-1, didn't you? Yeah, 2-1. But they listen. I mean, game goals, and they could have. And again, another red card in that game. Matheus Nunes, who plays for Wolverhampton, ends up getting a
late as well, man.
Yeah,
like 95th minute, you're getting a red card. Come on, man.
Yeah,
lack of discipline, isn't it?
Yeah, and that Solomon March, I think he's probably one of the top goal scorers right now, because he's got another brace. He's got another brace. Matoma, for the first goal that he scored, assist from Purvis. I can't say his second name. I think it's Colombian. Purvis and stuff, and I think it's Colombian. I think he's actually a teammate of Casado, if my memory serves me right. I might be wrong. No. Casado's he's not Colombian. Is Casado a Colombian?
Yeah,
Colombia. Yeah, he does. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he's Colombian.
I'm sure they're both teammates. Yeah, for Colombia. But anyway, he gets the assist. But the run from Matoma to score that goal in the 15th minute, what a goal! Messias like, and slots it coolly. Goalkeeper bearing down on him, defenders bearing down on him. He coolly slots it in the far right hand corner. Lovely jubbly makes it 1-0 in 50 minutes. Then the second goal, it's now Purvis Estorama getting it, and Matoma assisted him in the 46th minute to make it 2-0. And then Julio Esco assisted the Solomon March goal to make it 3-0. And then Julio getting another assist to make it 4-0 in the 55th minute. Listen, they were running riot down there. And then Hung Wing Chan for Wolves getting, well, you could call it a consolation goal, but it was in the 61st minute. Whether you could see Wolves coming back or not, I doubt it very much. And then obviously Matheus Nunes in the 90th minute plus whatever, getting a second yellow, and ended up getting sent off. So Brighton come away, run away to Wolves, winning that game 4-1. And it's a complete contrast to the way they played against you guys last week. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was like it was a cup final against us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like
they just raised their game. They just raised their game. And, the manager's doing really well for Brighton.
And this is what I said to you last week, right? The focus on that, not a penalty, right? And then you let this happen. You know what I'm saying? At home. And that's what I said to you. It will keep doing this foolishness and be fired by Christmas. Let it go, man. You didn't get it. We've moved on. Let it go. But you spent the whole week moaning about that, what wasn't a penalty. or in my eyes, wasn't a penalty. And
well, it was a penalty. So
I
disagree with you. It was a penalty. It's a penalty. I disagree with you. Absolutely disagree with you.
The next week, Normski, he gets spanked 4-1 at home. The next week.
Right. What's the name? Took out.
Where's your focus?
No, what's the name? Pickford took out in that game in the game that we're going to talk about at some point. Pickford took out a couple of players, and he ended up getting a penalty. Yeah, conceding a penalty.
Yeah, and you know what?
It was no different, mate. You know what I
mean? And they're fed up at Pickford because of what Pickford did to Kofi.
Yeah, I know.
He keeps hurting players. He keeps hurting players with that, and they're doing it on purpose. And he was getting away with it because he was England number 1. And now the referees are like, no, we can't keep protecting it because he plays for England.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. Like I say, every week when we're discussing this stuff,
we will absolutely, no doubt about it. Let's move on before we move on to your game, D. As I
do my game, man. I don't mind, man.
Well, I was going to talk about. Okay, let's move on because I think from what Chidi said, he might not. Okay, that's cool. We can move on to that. We'll come on to that. But if he doesn't get on, we will still tackle it. But let's move on to the Man City Newcastle game. Man City at home to Newcastle. Lovely goal by Alvarez. Beautiful goal. 1-0. I just felt that Newcastle just kind of played within themselves. Do you know what I mean? I think they played it safe. They had
compared to last week.
A couple of chances, and you're thinking, you know what I mean? If you took your chances, Wilson had a couple of chances when he came on. I think the guy, what's his name what's his name? There's what's the striker's name for Newcastle? Isak. Yeah. He didn't have much joy.
No.
He got taken off.
So you see, is that right? Would you start him over Wilson?
Well, listen. Wilson. He's got more to his game. He's more skillful and technical than Wilson. He's got more to his game, and he did score more goals. Well, funny saying that though, Wilson was Newcastle's top goal scorer last season.
Yeah, he was.
But what happened?
But Isak was
injured.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. But this is what I'm saying though. I felt like Isak.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, D. I do.
You know what I'm saying? I look at that because like Callum Wilson. I remember when I put him into my team. This guy was just scoring for fun.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, and so when my missus
has got him in her fantasy league, and she's like moaning, going, "How come he's not starting?"
He's not starting. But he's going with Gordon, Norm, who's been poor, Gordon, and he got a yellow card as well. But then I don't know whether Wilson can play off the left. If Wilson is fluid, where he can play middle, left, or right, I'm starting him with Isak and Almiron, you know what I mean? So interesting tactics in that sense.
Well, listen, you got Phil Foden now playing in that role where De Bruyne is playing.
Phil
injured for like 4 months or so. So listen, his body is getting a bit battered now, and you can see the changing of the guard now. With regards to De Bruyne, I think what you will see now is. Will Foden can play in numerous positions. He can play out on the left, he can play out on the right, and he can play in that. And he had a fantastic game in that game, running the show and getting man of the match for that game, getting the assist for Alvarez. And what a goal it was as well. Won it 1-0. And people say, what a fantastic game in the sense that, Man City were at their fluid best, but they know how to, dig in and get the goals. Because Newcastle is a tough team to break down. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I think at home, you're going to find it really difficult to get goals against them. Away from home, they're going to make it difficult for teams, you know what I mean? Because when they came to the Emirates last season, they just literally put 11 men behind the ball and we just couldn't break them down. And maybe that's why Arteta is trying all these different systems.
Trust me, I'm not looking forward to this weekend because we got them away, so...
It's
going to be a hot cake one.
Yeah, Foden.
That's a hard one to call, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a hard one to call, Kofi. But you know what? You've always done fairly well against them. To be fair,
are you playing? You're playing away. You're playing away to them.
Yeah, we're playing away.
So. Big up to my sister.
But all the way,
right? I'm not predicting that game.
Yeah, I'm all the way in Barcelona, and it's all the way in Barcelona. Loving it, and I think she's out there with the family. So big up to you, and big up to you,
Yes,
Raymond.
big up yourself,
all Liverpool supporters. I don't know why Anne is a Liverpool supporter. I don't get it. Don't understand. And you know what I mean? We'd have to have words, Anne. You know what I mean? We know Ricardo's a secret Arsenal supporter.
You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
I don't get it.
Filled with him in your house.
But big up to you, Anne.
It's like my younger brother. My younger brother, JD. Like me and him, big brother is Man United fans, and my man, I put on Liverpool shirt. Come on, man. What are you doing?
It don't make sense.
You know what I mean?
It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
But in the same breath, my older brother David is a hardcore United fan, lives in North London, and his daughter is an Arsenal fan. And you got to take it on the chin. You got to take it. I'm like, bruh, Arsenal. Because he showed me a picture of her playing football, in a football team with an Arsenal top on. I said, bro, what's with an Arsenal top? He says, she lives in North London, man.
She knows best. She knows best, mate.
He said, she'll be the only kid in the class with a Man United top on. And then she get bullied. I'll be like, wow, that's wild, isn't it? And so at that age group, at 8 years old, you already been told, no, don't come with a Man United top in a North London classroom. That's
all my kids, when they were young, I just let them know what the score is. And
right, that's the score. Yeah.
My second daughter, when my missus bought her a Liverpool mat for a bedroom.
Yeah.
And I said, where you going with that? Eventually, it ended up in the skip. And that's no word of a lie. It did end up on the skip. Big up. Oh, when is the Champions League draw? Well, put it this way, sorry. You know what? Just for a moment, I'm looking at Arsenal. I'm seeing Emery. Champions League, I'm not too sure when it is, actually. I don't know if it's the end of this week or next week. I'm not too sure, Craig, on that one.
I think they do it either after or just before the international break. So we got one more game?
Yeah, I think it's after. Yeah. So after this, so hold on. So we play UD
before the break.
Before the international break. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We got Fulham at home, then you at home.
That's a wrong time to play you lot,
2 weeks time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we get before the window closes, but
we'll see what happens. Well, listen, in mid-October, Red October, you will be getting your Qatar takeover, but we'll come to that if we get.
Well, so I'm hearing, yeah.
We'll see what happens. But listen, we've been hearing it all year and still nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know whether to believe it or not. We'll see what happens. Big up to you, Diego. Listen, unlucky. You was probably at the game as well, at the Palace game. What was your thoughts on the game, Diego? Put it in the chat. How do you think Arsenal stood up to, especially your long balls towards the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the game, because literally we went down to 10 men, in the 70th minute plus whatever, and then we had to literally defend for our lives in terms of, but they were throwing in a lot of long balls in and stuff like that. So it was a penalty. Your Woodstock did bring down Nketiah, but we'll come to our game in a bit. So yeah, Diego, what are your thoughts on the game? Do you think it was a fair result that we ended up coming away with the 3 points? Last season, we went there and pretty took you apart. But this season, a bit tougher. Obviously, Elise wasn't playing. He's injured. Eze playing in that number 10 role looks good. There's talk and whether it's going to happen or not that he's linked with Man City. But I just don't think not Tottenham. I don't think Crystal Palace can afford to let him go over any more players. I mean, Liverpool linked with Decore, but they are asking something like 80 million for Decore. That's what they want, Crystal Palace. And he had a decent game against us as well.
And this is the problem with coming in so late in the window. That price just goes up because there's no guarantee he can be replaced. You know what I mean? It's kind of what,
yeah, man, Craig. Listen, bro, and listen, Ivan Toney had a little chat on there. Listen, Ivan Toney, my missus was even saying it to me the other day, or was it yesterday? She was saying, I mean, that Ivan Toney wants to come to Arsenal, or we're linked with him because obviously with the situation with the betting thing, he went on to, I don't know if anybody's sub to
I saw a bit of it.
Yes, a Diary of a CEO, and he was kind of having a conversation about what's happened. He felt that he wasn't backed, he was set up and stuff like that. He kind of came out and said like he likes the way Arsenal play, but he's actually a Liverpool supporter.
I'm about to say that, Liverpool fan, yeah. So why are you looking at going to Anfield, bro?
I mean, listen, I think the guy's back in training. I think come January, that's when clubs can start looking at him. And D has always said it and reiterated it. If you get an Ivan Toney in your side, if we get an Ivan Toney in the side, I wouldn't say it's too much or so much say Liverpool because you're stacked with a lot of attacking players, Cove. But I think if we get an Ivan Toney in our side,
you can't trust him. One pound a man comes out and tell you he's a Pool fan, man.
Yeah, but no,
I'm just making sure I can trust him now. Well, I didn't know that before.
Listen, yeah, he's a Liverpool fan. Yeah, so so to be honest, he might not work for you guys, but he'll definitely work for Arsenal. I'll tell you that now, because man can hold up the ball well.
No, he can work for us, but but his mindset might be always looking over to the Mersey there, saying, "Boy,
imagine."
If
imagine when we play.
Right,
Agent Tony, man, Agent Tony.
Because even if he scores against you, Chile, Kofi, he's not going to celebrate. He'll be like, "Oh, do that." You know, he just comes out. He ain't gonna celebrate. He's just gonna hold himself and say, "Yeah,
we'll see what happens." But listen, as I say, Ivan Toney has been talking about situation with his betting thing, and that could be a whole nother show. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we won't go into it. But listen, I'm sure clubs will be looking at him in January. And I'd definitely like to look at him because we definitely do need a striker. We can't go through this season with Eddie Nketiah as a backup to Jesus. Listen, in that game, I'll come to it and talk about it. Missing one sitter. Why he's chipping the ball 5 yards in over the keeper? I have no idea. And then obviously he hits the post, created it himself. He was unlucky. He was unlucky with that one. Do you know what I mean? What's this? How much would Brighton want for Matoma? Oh, gosh.
130 mil.
I mean, what do they pay for this guy? What do they pay for this guy? I don't think no more than 10 million.
I think it's cheap, wasn't it? Yeah, about that,
cheap.
Yeah,
so
it was really cheap.
It's quite crazy. Let's see what I just want to just get Diego's take on what you said about the setup. So your Arteta setup is lined up to a defensive style. Yes, Arsenal got the 3 points, but the Palace combination of Decore, Lerma prevented Arsenal from scoring from open play. Right, fair enough. Yeah, Decore was good and Lerma. But that's why I just think what a lot of teams are going to do with Arsenal, they're going to play with this low block. And so Arteta has to think of a way where you can break down teams. It's the same with Nottingham Forest as well. And so for me, we're not free scoring as we did last season. And I just think we should really just go back to playing that 4 at the back, 3-3, and wing backs. Overlapping, especially Ben White, because he's not doing that because he's playing in a free when we're defending, when we're defending, when we're attacking, and then when he comes back. So when we attack now, yes, he's now in a free.
Yeah, he's not bombing on.
Yeah, he's not bombing on because Partey's vacated that space and he's got to come across just in case that if it breaks down and somebody attacks us down on the left hand side, he's there to cover. So he's not overlapping as much, and that's where we was getting our goals and getting a lot of joy when it came to that. So listen, 1-0 to the Arsenal. 3 points is what matters, and as far as I'm concerned, that's what it is. It wasn't a Royal Royce performance. It was hard work. We defended well with 10 men and got the job done in that game. Moving on to Sunday, so we will come back to your game, D.
It's cool.
If my man does come,
you don't have to if you don't want it, but it's cool.
Yeah, but no, we're going to talk about your game because, bro. I don't know what Mr. Ten Hag is doing right now, but we will.
Bare talking points.
Let me say this now. Aston Villa got slapped up last week, 5-1 against who was the team they lost 5-1 to? Who slapped them up 5-1?
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Newcastle. Yeah.
This week, they come and just said, you know what, let's get my goal difference back. Let's get our goal difference back to 0, because they lost 5-1. 4-0, slapped up Everton. Sean Dyche, mate. What? Dyche? Mate, Everton held on by the scruff of their teeth last season. I think this season, you've got Calvert-Lewin ended up with a fractured cheekbone. And
this man cannot stay fit. He can't stay fit.
Can't stay fit. Lord. Ended up getting booed off by his fans.
Did he?
That's what I heard.
They booed him off.
Yeah.
I think they're done with him though. Mentally, they're done with him.
Yeah. But again, Everton, they got beaten at home last week, and now 4-0. I don't know whether they survived this season. You know what I mean? They're one of my what's the name to go down? To go down. Yeah, definitely. So in that game, John McGinn getting an assist by Leon Bailey on the 18th minute. Then Douglas Luiz gets a penalty in the 24th minute. Jordan Pickford, obviously, gave away that penalty by taking out two of the players. The ball was nowhere near the ball.
Because he got a yellow card and conceded 4 goals. He absolutely killed me this week. This brother.
You know what? Oh, yeah.
This brother.
Yeah,
honestly.
Wasn't Pickford linked with you guys? Was Pickford? He was
linked with us.
Like, He was.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Leave that alone.
Lord.
Leave that alone, mate. Can you imagine having a Nana and Pickford as your backup?
Nah,
They'd both be getting lots of penalties, wouldn't they?
You see, Anana, right? You can't.
Listen, Anana
can't lace his boots, in my opinion.
Anana, listen, no, absolutely not.
And I've been saying for a while that Pickford shouldn't be England #1 either.
Yeah,
there's a whole Gareth Southgate thing going on there again. I can't even.
He's got to find his feet.
Yeah.
150 million cost Chelsea a penalty. Yep, 150 million for all he did. Casado, come home, bro. Debut.
But he actually didn't look fit either, Norm.
No, they didn't.
This is what happens when you're pushing for a move, and you're so focused on the move that you're not training properly. You just want to be out of there.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on his head.
Yeah, but he created that by digging his heels in for the move, Kofi. And when you dig your heels in, you can't turn up unfit. And he looks unfit to me. He just looked to pace off it. So when he gave away what he did, I was like, bro, you pushed for this big move, and you're not even fit. That's why he never. They said that's why he didn't start him, but then don't put him in. Let him get fit. Because you remember Ten Hag did it for Casemiro. He said, I'll play McTominay until you're fit.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they played him to make him expose himself like that. That was wild. But that's my management again. Potts should know better than that. He should know better than that. Yeah.
But listen, Leon Bailey getting the 51st minute, getting the 3rd goal, and then Duran getting the 4th goal in the 75th minute, beating Everton comprehensively 4-0.
Slap.
And let's talk about Ez, baby. Where's your money, baby? Mr. Ez. 10-man West Ham free, Chelsea £1 billion question. What happened? Ez, talk to me. What happened? Yeah? Casemiro, what happened? 150 million. You can see that obviously this side.
Casado.
Pochettino's got to get this side gel together. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's absolutely you can see from there it's a lot of individuals. The Jackson guy who plays up front for them.
Man like Nicholas,
Nicholas is quite raw. And I still feel that Chelsea need a striker.
Man, they got bully beef, Norman.
They got
bully beef, man.
They got bullied in that game.
Until you can sell him. But play bully beef so you can sell him.
They've got big players. West Ham have got some big players in there. And listen, that game.
Yeah, but do you think right now that Tim's would suit Poch's style and give that experience in the Premier League?
Who's that? Who?
What's his name? Lukaku.
But this is the thing, right?
Listen. Lukaku he's not in Poch's plans. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying. They need a striker. Yeah. But I think that ship has sailed now.
He's there on what, 360 grand a week.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like who runs a business like that? That you go out and struggle when you've got a striker that you just say, right, while you're here, fix your head and you're going to play for me until you're gone.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you that kind of money for me not to be able to score goals up front. Yeah. Because now that's Poch's head on the block. Because people say, well, Lukaku just training with the kids or whatever they got him doing. I don't even know what they got him doing. On his own or training with the kids, I'm not even sure. But you're paying this man 360 bags a week and you need goals and you just got turned over by West Ham, who are not supposed to be living with you right now.
Right, exactly. And
you know the ones after what you spent. And I know that they spent a lot of money on the youth for the future. I get all that. Yeah. But it don't really matter. It's a Premier League.
Yeah. And the fact is they've spent nearly £1 billion. So there's a great expectation. It's great expectation. Yeah. As young a team as they are, it's the money that talks. Yeah. And when somebody tells you spent that amount of money on a squad, then you're expecting this squad to finish, and you're expecting them to, because a lot of people had Chelsea going to West Ham and beating them convincingly.
Yeah, and you know as well, no, there wouldn't be a surprise if there's a clause in Poch's contract that you've got to give him a couple of seasons before you can attempt to fire him. It wouldn't surprise me that they can't fire him. Otherwise, if I was Poch, you'd have been thinking these guys were as reckless as Roman when it comes to firing managers. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if you put that, because they said that there was a load of stipulations for him to go there. And I think he would have protected himself. He knows how to like to swing the axe.
Yeah.
But this is unacceptable, man.
I'm saying with the money that is spent, as Diego said here, Chelsea finished below Palace again. I see Poch losing. I can't see Poch lasting there. Chelsea fans demand trophies. That's absolutely, because they are used to, they are one of the most successful clubs in England when it comes to trophies. Halls, you know what I mean? So, listen, they end up conceding the first goal in the 7th minute by their new signing, West Ham, Nayef Gerd, if I pronounce his name right. If not, can somebody put it in the chat and say how you pronounce it? Assist by James Ward-Prowse, who's been bought from Southampton, and I think he ended up getting 2 assists in that game. And I don't know if he got man of the match. I think he even got man of the match, if my memory serves me right. Then what happens then is Kane Chukwuemeka. Have I pronounced that right, Cole? Kane
slightly off.
Well, whatever. But anyway, listen, it equalises in the 28th minute, and you're thinking, okay, maybe Chelsea will go on. Chukwuemeka, that's it. Chukwuemeka. There you go, Chukwuemeka.
These you have to look at them good to try and pronounce them, innit?
Yeah, proper. So 28th minute equalises, and then they get a penalty, and Enzo, the £106 million player, misses the penalty.
Yeah,
there's a lot of expensive things going on here, man, going to waste right now. I understand. So the save was made by their goalkeeper. What's their goalkeeper's name? West Ham's goalkeeper's name. Can't remember his name is.
Oriel.
Oreo. It's not the biscuits.
No, it's ARE.
Yeah, Oreo or something like that. Mikhailo Mudryk comes on. What a waste of money, bro. This guy is now being with this team now. Yeah, and the man has not got. I don't think he's scored in the Premier League yet.
Is it?
What a waste of money. I'm glad we didn't go for him. Yeah, man was twerking for
How much
Arsenal.
did Chelsea pay for him?
Near the £90 million mark.
Ooh.
Yeah. They gazumped us, didn't they? Yeah.
But this is the thing.
Yes, Craig, I did see his volley. Yeah. I'm still waiting for it to come back from the moon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Still waiting for it. And then Mikel Antonio had a brilliant game as well. Bullied their defense.
Yeah.
Getting that second goal for them to go 2-1 up. And then the new signing, second yellow card, which was definitely a yellow card. Getting second sent off. And then Lucas Paqueta with the penalty, obviously was conceded by Caicedo, £150 million Caicedo penalty, and West Ham with 10 men go on and beat the £1 billion club 3-1. Not a good look, mate. Not a good look.
And you see that is
this going to be another repeat of last season or what? We don't know. But
they're getting in goals this weekend.
Luton. Yeah, they got Luton at home, haven't they? They got Luton at home.
So that kickstart all their frailties, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I say as Dee said, they definitely need a striker. You've got Lukaku sitting around twiddling his thumbs, pulling up 300 and something grand a week.
And the thing is, he said he didn't want to go to the Saudi league. I don't know. So he's actually
refusing. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
he's actually refusing offers from the Saudi league.
Well, Juventus fan don't want him. I don't know where he sits at the moment. I mean, he was linked with Tottenham as well. I heard he was linked with Tottenham.
Wow,
but I don't know.
Chile would lose his mind if he went to Tottenham.
Lukaku, Timberland boots settings, man. You know what I'm saying? Timberland boot settings. And then on the Monday we played last. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 1, and as Diego said, the way Arsenal did set up in that kind of defensive style meant that there wasn't much creativity, personally speaking. But Declan Rice had a very good game. I must say he was up and down all over. You know what I mean? Nearly got a fantastic assist for the Nketiah miss where he lobbed it over the keeper in 5 yards out. You just have to place that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that's what I'm saying. The difference between a championship striker and a Premier League striker. Nketiah, you're a championship striker. You need a Premier League striker.
Don't diss the Ghana, man.
Listen, man. Come on. I'm tired of it. 14, the number 14 shirt, £100,000 a week. Come on, man. You've got to be scoring that, brother. You've got to be scoring that, Cole. Come on.
He's had some important games for you guys.
Look, important games. If he had important games for us, why didn't we win the league last season?
Yeah, but you had like a team that they've never been. You can't just blame it on him. You had a team that never been in that position, and they just quaked in their boots. Bro, you can't blame it on the Nketiah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If we had a Haaland in our side, if we had a Kane in that side, even if we had an Ivan Toney in that side, I think we go on and win the league.
Maybe so.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but then there's other players around them. It's not just
them. No, but there was some people dropped off. Partey dropped off. Saka dropped off because Arteta insists on playing this guy too many times. Yeah, and you could see the drop off in terms of his. In terms of his capabilities, do you know what I mean? It just literally, he just looked tired. Didn't have nothing left. Ran out of gas. Just run out of gas. And so that's why we need a backup for Saka. And at the moment, we haven't got that backup.
Talking to Saka, Norm, why did he give up the penalty to Odegaard?
No.
He has the ball in his hands the whole time. He's been debated.
Just didn't trust himself.
And I'll be like, what are you doing, bro?
You know what? I suppose in one sense, to get over that and get the monkey off your back, just go and take it. Do you know what I mean?
What? So,
but I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of glad that Odegaard took it off of him. I'm not gonna lie. I was
for real.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad.
I was shocked because
I'm not saying that
because for me, that's your star boy, and the whole time he's holding the ball in his hands, waiting for the referee to clear the Palace guys away from the spot. And then at the last minute, he just hands it over to Odegaard. So now, bro.
Yeah, but Odegaard's captain, right?
Yeah,
so,
but
if you look at it, Odegaard never asked for the penalty. Saka gives it him. Yeah, that's worrying for me, Norm. That's worrying for me mentally.
But
that's like,
bro,
what are you doing?
But then at the end of the day, if that's the case, and he doesn't feel mentally right to take it, then he's done the right thing.
That's what I'm saying. But 2 games in, though. 2 games in, though. I get that if he's fatigued, like 3/4 of the way through the season, but game week 2, and you're handing the ball back.
But I don't think it's.
It was a pressure penalty as well, Norm. Because that game was very.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In terms of when you say fatigue, are you talking mentally fatigue?
Mentally fatigue, yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's thinking about when he missed the penalty in the pre-season, yeah? When he had that penalty and he missed it in the pre-season. And then obviously the West Ham game where that was a crucial penalty that he took. So I think that's still playing on his mind, yeah?
Right.
At some point, he's going to have to overcome that. Do you know what I mean? Because if Odegaard is not in the team, and we get a penalty, he's our penalty taker.
And this is me being selfish because the reason why I pick him in my fantasy league is because he is on penalties. So when I see him hand the ball over after holding the ball, I'm saying, what the rid is this brother doing here? What are you doing, bro? You are my guy. Go and take the penalty, you. You can tell that he's like something just in his spirit, be like, nah, you know what? Let me hand it over.
But listen, I'm kind of glad that he did it. I know sometimes you say, let's just get the monkey off the back, get that mentality block out, and just go and do it. But
just go and do it. Yeah.
Listen, I think the way it was at the time, because we wasn't able to break Palace down a lot. That's
what I'm saying. There was a pressure on that penalty.
And I think, to be honest, if Tommy Ashley wasn't sent off, I think we'd go on and win that game comfortably. That's the truth, because we had most of the possession and stuff like that. So I think we still go on and win that game. Yeah, Diego's right. First 20 minutes, Palace did play well, but Arsenal got into the game, and then we started to control the game more.
Pepe's back now.
Pepe, yeah, but listen, for me, look, there's talk that Arteta, whether it's true or not, I don't know, because some people are saying that's not the case. That he wants to have a chat with Pepe and if he's willing to knuckle down and play, the system and get used to the way Arteta plays and knuckles down, then maybe he'll have a way back into the team. But I think Arsenal's still looking to sell him. Besiktas are still linked with him, so we'll see what happens. Sure. There was a point where we was going to rip up his contract, but he's got like 2 years left on his contract. Do you know what I mean? So you can imagine paying out all that money. So
the owners don't have to do that. Really.
Yeah, I'm hoping that a team will come in and get him. But listen, we've got 10 days left of the transfer window, so we'll see what happens. We need to make some money, and that's the problem with Arsenal. When it comes to sales, we're not very good when it comes to selling players. We don't get the premium, and I think it's the same for Man United as well. In this situation, we don't get the.
I think we're worse than you, when it comes to selling. I think we're worse than you, bro. Honestly, we're shocking.
Yeah,
cannot do a deal to save our life, man.
We just have to watch this space with Pepe. You know what I mean? But hopefully we will get shot of him and we move on from there. All I know, my Palace has Jordan Ayew from Ghana, and he's been brilliant for us. Yeah, is your fellow man there, Ghana Kofi?
Yeah, man.
Jordan Ayew.
Man like Jordan. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's he say? I'm sure Indicator is a good prospect, but when he was one-on-one with my keeper, he never asked the question. No, and that's it. He didn't. Absolutely didn't. So that's where he needs to learn quick. You know what I mean? He's not of the standard for Arsenal. But listen, he works hard. He runs around. But when you need goals, at those crucial moments, you got to put them away. Craig said, if Arteta keeps playing this formation and playing players out of their position against the top half, we'll get found out. Absolutely. I was pulling whatever hair that I did have left in my head out because it's just the case. Against a better team, we will end up getting found out because Partey's not a right back. Yeah, he's not a right back. And some people say, oh yeah, well, he played right back for Atletico Madrid. Not as a permanent right back.
Yeah, not week in, week out.
Week in, week out.
Like, if there's an injury.
Yeah, it might be
something for 2 games, you know what I mean?
Arteta is trying to, what my thing is that Arteta is trying to shoehorn Havertz into the side, and as a result of it, he's playing Partey out there because Shevchenko was on the bench, so he looks like he's back. But what was quite good, and Diego might have seen this in the game, when Shevchenko came on, Jorginho came on, there was like a control. They got control of the game for about 5-10 minutes, and Palace couldn't get the ball off of us. And Jorginho was kind of controlled that Shevchenko was coming on, being creative and they were stringing some nice passes together, and that was with 10 men on the pitch. But then there came a point in the game where the last 5-10 minutes of the game, they were just banging everything at us, and Arteta bringing on Gabriel Magalhaes to shore up the back, bringing on Kivior, you know what I mean? Then, we had a lot more defensive players on the pitch just to see out the game. And we've done a great job doing that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Everything that they threw at us, we dealt with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I'm quite happy when it comes to that. He said, I had a close look at Saka during the whole match. Amazing player, but back in the day, Klopp had an eye on him. Could Liverpool come in for him to replace Núñez? Look, Saka just signed a new deal, and if you did want Saka, you'll be paying a lot of money. That's all I've got to say. You'd be paying an awful lot of money for this guy. And if Liverpool, want him, 150 mil, and then you can have him. But
it costs you a lot of money.
He's a good player. But I don't know. I don't know for the future for Núñez. I don't know, because as I say, he's not getting the game time for the money that you've spent on him. Cove, he's not getting the game time as he should. Come the summer. Yeah. His head might be turned. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
But it's like I was saying, Norman, earlier that I maintain that Núñez was a club signing rather than a Klopp signing, and he's got to prove himself to Klopp, and at the moment he's not, is he?
Yeah. And so look, let's because we've spent a lot of time on the things we haven't tackled, but let's just quickly go back to your game, because obviously the man in the cornfields hasn't come home.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the was it the Sunday game? Was it the Sunday game?
Hold on, I'm just checking it out on my phone. No, it was
Saturday evening.
Saturday evening, yes.
All right. So
Tottenham 2, Manchester United 0-0. Right, and
first half. I think.
So I'm about to say that that Chile's not really having that. He feels like we just got played off the park for the whole game, which is not the case. We had 4 big chances in that first 40 minutes. We only need to finish 2 of them, Norm, and we're not having this negative conversation. And I'm not even going to be negative because it's game week 2, right? But you saw the struggles with that particular lineup against Wolves, and you stubbornly go with the same lineup again. And I'm like, whoa, what are you thinking there, bro? Like, Garnacho isn't a starter, right? Rashford sat in an interview and played his hand, saying, I don't like playing through the middle, right? Why would you do that in an interview? So now every defender in the world knows that you don't fancy playing through the middle. We're paying you 325k a week. You play what I tell you to play. That's the truth, right? I need you to play that. Now, it's twofold. In pre-season, he was playing Sancho in the false 9, right? And Rashford was on the left, and Rashford's just being what Rashford does. He cuts in from the left and he bangs. He doesn't really try to cross. Crossing is not the first thing he does. So him trying to create for himself in the middle, because neither winger are cross wingers first. They're both like him on they're calling the fake Brazilian now, Anthony, right? He's getting the whole, what kind of Brazilian is this? Like, I don't know. I don't know what Ten Hag is seeing that I can't see with Anthony. You got Palestri sat on the bench that can't get a game. And I just think, yet again, like last season, no, we're not clinical. We scored 2 of them 4 chances. It might have been 5 chances, actually. You scored 2 of them 5 chances in the first half before Tottenham scoring and set. We're having a different conversation here. And so and then it's like we just ran out of gas. It's like we literally just ran out of gas. We got so overrun. And a lot of people came at Casemiro. Casemiro's watch. Casemiro's that. Casemiro is 9 out of 10 times in that second half was 3 against 1 Norm. He's not going to come out on top. He's just not. So I'm not putting that on Casemiro. In my mind, and I saw this in pre-season, and I called it in pre-season, Bruno and Mount can't play together because neither wants to come and sit and help Casemiro when it's needed. They both want to be further forward than Rashford most of the time. Mount was further forward than Rashford most of the time in the game. How? He's getting it wrong, and he has to see that if it's not working, you change it. And I think Bruno having the armband, he don't want to sub him. I remember that was my concerns about Bruno getting the armband, that when he's having a stinker, he leaves him on. And then Anthony as well, because of the price tag. Remember, we literally paid double the value. I watched the Saeed podcast last night while I was at work, while I was driving, and listened to it. And he had 4 guys on from Ajax, and they were saying that if Anthony doesn't have a right back that flows and overlaps him and runs through the channels, he's sort of lost with the ball. He can retain the ball, but there's not much coming out there. And in Ajax, he always worked with a good right back that allowed him to retain the ball, slip a pass through the channel, and the right back would be the one crossing their balls in for the striker. Wan-Bissaka don't like to go forward. He's a very much a defensive-minded. So we have no synergy in the team, though. Like, we have no partnerships. Apart from the 2 centre-backs and the goalkeeper, we have no partnerships in that team. As in, the front 3 are not fluid because you've got 2 wingers that shoot first before they cross. Rashford's always telling, I don't know who he had the interview with, that he don't want to play through the middle. It's not where he feels comfortable. It's not where he's more productive. You're saying that. You're showing your hand. It's naive. And Ten Hag's got a clamp on these interviews because these guys are stupid in interviews. They're embarrassing. And then you've got Bruno and Mount trying to outprove themselves. They're the same player. Just one's Portuguese and one's English. They're the same player. So him being our first signing of the summer, I don't get it. And then you got Luke Shaw. Every time Luke Shaw signs a new contract, what do we see from Luke Shaw? His productivity dips because he knows he's nice. I got another 3 years on the books. And so you're seeing a very disjointed team. So on both wings, our wing backs don't unite with our. So Garnacho and Luke Shaw have no cohesion. You're seeing the same with Wan-Bissaka and Anthony. So you only got literally got the two in the middle, and the goalkeeper that in that triangle that know what they're doing. Everyone else is just winging it, and it's shocking to see them.
I mean, I feel sorry for Casemiro, as I said, because he's playing him as
yeah. Like I'm not putting anything on Casemiro in that game. I'm not putting anything on him because he did what he could. Yes, and you have to remember he's a year older as well. He's not a spring chicken.
I mean, some people were saying that he used to use his head a bit. I think it was Jamie Carragher was saying that he kind of be.
Jamie hates him.
Well, he was saying he's a bit rash, you know what I mean? Because he hasn't got the legs no more. He's
this is Jamie, right? Between Jamie and Souness said, just running the mill. Just Casemiro's just running the mill. It's like, okay, bro. Like, put away your Liverpool bias and watch the games. And when we lost Casemiro, he got the red card, then he came back, then he got injured, I think, or might have got a second red card, then he got injured. After the injury, you could see like he lost a yard, like the injury wasn't quite he just wasn't quite there. And some people said he's putting a bit away in the summer. I think they all have. And if I look at it, like Man United have to address the pre-season because between closed doors and flying all over the world, we played 9 games, Norm, with that air mileage. Why would you do that? You don't need to play that many games. Play 3, Norm.
I know.
And I get it, right? We are commercially heavy and we promise the sponsors this and that. But you got to think that we play on that wet Manchester pitch. You don't have to spray that pitch. It's going to rain in Manchester. You guarantee it. They save water all the time at Old Trafford, right? So these guys are playing on this heavy pitch, training on the heavy pitches at Carrington, and you got them flying all over the world playing. So they played 6 and 4 behind closed doors. It's a necessary norm. And they got to look at that because these guys are gassing out at 60 minutes. That's
Could it be down to Ange Ball? Yeah. Now I don't know if people can see that on the screen. If you can glance at that. So this is a comparison. I was watching Sky. This is a comparison of when in 2022-23.
Right.
If you look at the expected goals, okay, it's still the same. Then you've got total shots. Now that's obviously gone up slightly. Possession under Conte, under Mourinho. Look at the possessions now in 2023-24. Ange Ball's talking 63%. Passes, successful passes, 533. 10 plus passes sequence, 17 points. So you can see it's going in the right direction. You look at successful passes in final third, 79.4 last season to 174, and that's only 2 games, right? And then press sequences, 11.9 on air, 18. And this is the sources Opta. Now I'm going to show you another. I'm going to show you another stat, right? And this one is let's do this one, right? This one here. Now, right. Now, if you look here, right, 2 games in. Look how many passes.
Yeah, but Norm, if you look at the stats,
look. Pochettino, 202. This is obviously with Pochettino, 202 games. This is the average passes. Yeah, average passes.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see Ange Ball that they're now going to be more of a possession-based style of football. Under Santo, 10 games, 256. Mourinho, 58 games, 249 average, and under Conte, 239. So 2 games. So you can see, considering that stat will go up even more, and that's only in 2 games under Ange, which you can definitely see.
So
the change in that game. Do you know what I mean?
I'm looking at the stats from our game right now. So Ten Hag likes to give up this possession, right? Which is fine, right? Like they had 55% possession, right? Jules won. We beat them 56% to 44%. Aerial Jules won. 76% for United against 23%. Offsides 4 for United, 1 for them. Corners 6 for United, 5 for them. Total shots, 22 for Man United, 17 for them. You know what I mean? So a lot of the stats we beat them on, we're not clinical. This is what we talked about last season.
Yeah.
Like, but the narrative is that we got completely overran. No, it was a game of two halves. But no one wants to talk about that. And this is what
Chile. I mean, obviously Chile.
Yeah. Chile was running jokes, and we were battling forward at each other. You know what I mean? But like we had 9. They blocked 9 of our shots. Like, pick a spot. You know the ones. It's like I don't get it. You're strikers. Yeah. What do you practice at Carrington in the week before these games? Because at the moment it's just one game a week. There's no cups. There's no Champions League or nothing like that yet. So one game a week, and you're training for the whole week. After what we did against Wolves, what did you practice this week for the whole week? Surely it's shooting. Surely it's keeping hold of the ball. We gave away possession so much time.
Tell Ten Hag to get some more target practice in, like.
Well, not the target practice. Like I don't know why he thinks that Kaz can run the midfield on his own and allow Bruno and Everest to just stay up front like they got no defending to do. It's just naive because it's what he's expecting is Onana to push them further. But Pep said this. Pep said Onana is a bad boy goalkeeper because he's press resistant. But he said if guys like, he just said Rashford and Co, he stopped himself from naming all Anthony and all them. But we know who he was talking about. This is what Pep's saying. Mr. Guardiola, he said they can't keep the ball. So there's actually no point having a goalkeeper that can distribute like they've got if the guys up front can't keep the ball when they get it. And I was like, there you go, Pep spoken. So let's see if people ignore this or they say, Pep actually calling it, and you're still allowing your guys to tell those guys to push up, putting beautiful balls in, one control or one soft control, the ball's gone again. We're back on the defense. And I'm saying, you just can't keep turning the ball over like that and expect to win football games. You just can't. And hopefully he sees that. I mean, obviously now Everest is injured, and I reckon he'll be out to the international break.
After the international
break,
that's right, yeah.
So now he's forced to make a change, which I'm actually happy about. Make the change now. So let's see.
I don't know why.
If Forest overrun us, if we get overrun by Forest, that's not a good look, bro.
Question here from Craig says, Big D, if Man United fail to qualify for Champions League and not win a domestic cup, would Ten Hag position will be looked at, and would you stick by him?
Well, this is the thing now, right? Some people are saying he's on fraud watch because allegedly he's been allowed to buy whatever players he wants, as in he's just going to the Dutch league or players that he's worked with. He's not looking outside the box. How about you go to the African nations? They got some bad boy guys playing, right? That everyone says, "Oh, you're going to lose them for AFCON." I think every team loses a couple of great African players to the AFCON. Like, it's not unique to Man United. Like, stop spending money on players like Everest and just go get players that fit your system, and they don't all have to come from the Dutch league. It's just naive, and I was looking because I didn't think we had a director of football, but the app is telling me that it's John Murto. I'm like, so John Murto is director of football, and then we got another brother. What's another brother's name? This other brother. It's gone now. This other brother, David Harrison. I don't even know who that guy is. So he's the director of football operations, but John Murto is director of football. So are they sitting down and talking to Ten Hag about these transfers, or is Ten Hag saying, "I don't trust you lot. All you lot have done is mess up this thing from you being in charge. I'm doing it myself." And the other thing I got to look at, and this is my last gripe, I don't think Ten Hag listens to his coaches. Because after the first half, where you see that Garnacho offers you nothing and you have 5 subs to use, why don't you make a sub at half-time and change it up? Because it's pride, isn't it? It's admitting that you got it wrong. You got it wrong, bro. We're getting overrun by these guys. Change it up. God forbid I'm saying this. Stick McTominay next to Casemiro. No, I'm truthful, right? No, seriously. He's still there, Norm, on big wages.
Scott.
He's still there on big wages, right? You stick him next to Casemiro, right? You put Bruno in the 10. You put Mount out on the right. You put Rashford back on the left, and you put Martial was fit. You put Martial on, or you put Jadon in the false line, go in the second half, and you go again. And he was too stubborn to do that. So he's not getting away with this, Norm.
And what a duo that would be, Matt Cass.
I'm protecting him all. Yeah, but at least, I mean, everyone says Scott doesn't like to play there. So okay, so why did you sell Fred then? Fred likes to play there, but you sold Fred because you said, "Oh, Fred was able to requirement," and apparently Scott's saying he ain't going anywhere either. He said, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not moving this late in the window."
Well, listen, we could talk all night about the situation with Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, because obviously the Amrabat situation. Again, I don't know what's happening with that. Is there any talk?
This contract, as in what's been agreed with the player, has been agreed for the last 2 months. Man United told him that they can't do the deal towards the end of the window because they have to move some pieces. Now you move Fred, you moved a guy that played a lot of minutes, Emeran. He played a lot of minutes in the preseason. They just moved him on as well. So what you've moved as in sold 2 midfielders. Go get Amrabat. He's less than 30 million euros, right? Go get that deal done. Forget about you're trying to move Scott McTominay and Maguire, because I think them two are staying until at least I think Maguire will force a loan in January because he wants to play for England. You watch, he try and force a move. He turned down West Ham because Man United offered him £6 million to move. He said he needs 16 million to move, or 15 million, like because he's dropping 40 grand a week on his wages. So from 190 at Old Trafford to 150 at West Ham. Get over it, bro. You're a multi-millionaire. Get out of here.
How I wish.
I mean, it's mad. It's mad. It's mad.
Again, this other one,
bro. Listen, Craig. Listen. For some reason, I think I addressed it a little bit earlier, Norm, that Ten Hag felt that he could do a job in the system. But then you're keeping Wan-Bissaka, who is a defensive right back. He's not an attacking. So you might as well play Delo, who is a weak defender in my mind. If you want Anthony to work, you have to play Delo. So even I know that, and I'm not the coach or the manager, and I know that.
Do you think Ten Hag is too safe?
He's stubborn, Norm. And it's like, this is my thing, right?
Yeah, but
it's
he wants to do it his way, so you got to give him that opportunity.
Yes, but this is my thing, right? When you're spending, and it's not 90 million pounds. Come on, man, be able to say it was euros, man. It's not 90 million. Remember, it was 40 million.
Okay,
no.
I think it was 89 million pounds.
No.
It was 89 million, 99 pence. Was it?
No. It was. At the start of the window, it was 40 million euros.
Yeah.
We paid 85 million at the end of the window. It doubled in a bit. So 85 million euros is what? 70 something pounds? 70, about 78 million pounds. Plus what, I think it was 5 million add-ons.
So that'll take it to about 80 something. Well, it's a lot of money.
Too much, Norm.
Yeah.
It's too much when he was half the price at the beginning of the window. If Ten Hag really wanted him, you have to remember how we chased Frankie de Jong for all that summer, and Frankie was never coming to us. You know, it reminded me of what Liverpool, that whole Caicedo thing. I don't think he always talked about Chelsea. Like, Chelsea, I can still stay in London. My brethren are there. My Brighton brethren are still there. People that he hangs with and lies with are still in London. He don't want to go up to rainy Liverpool, rainy Manchester. I get it. But Ten Hag had to take some accountability. And I don't know what the coaches are doing, because I'm not seeing the coaches. Ferguson rotated his coaches every 2.5, 3 years. He just said, right, I need some new coaches. Ten Hag.
And that happened regularly a lot. I mean, I've lost count the amount of people that Fergie went through coaching.
Yeah, and if you look at Ten Hag, still got some coaches there that were there when LVG was there, bro. Get out of here. What are we doing? They have to go. You've got to freshen it up. That way, the coaching mindset is different.
Is Fletcher still there?
Yeah, Fletcher's still there. That's what I'm saying. Why is Fletch there? And he puts the tracksuit on as well. Everyone said that he collects the combs and hands out the bibs and all that. I said, oh my God, man. You see my frustration? It's like
you got to give someone a job, man.
yeah. It's like Man United's job creation. Like, let's look at some job creations. Now, apparently, we have a new chef as well now. Yeah. Right, so he's got a new chef in apparently. Okay, so clearly he can see that people are having cheap dinners away from Old Trafford. You know what I mean? Because you can see that. You know what I mean? Maybe Casemiro, Wan-Bissaka definitely likes a greasy burger and what have you. Yeah, see, I'll give you Diego jokes. No, man, I'm furious because it's not being run as a club how we know it. And come mid-October...
Seriously, what's happened to your club?
Come mid-October, I'm telling you, if the Sheikh... Because apparently the Sheikh's told them that he needs to be in charge for the January transfer window. He's told him that already.
And I'll tell you
because if you're selling to me...
If he's in charge for the January transfer, it's all over, mate.
Heads are going to roll, you know? Yeah. No, heads are going to roll.
Question, Dave. Before we move on to the last thing, and that's the prediction thing. And I don't know if you said it last week or there's a possibility. If the new ownership comes in, and normally that what happens, and they don't fancy the current manager, do you think that they would give Ten Hag until the summer and then they'll change and go for another manager? What's your thoughts on that quickly?
Yeah, that's what I think would happen. I think that if we're just this inconsistent team all the way through the season and we can't do anything on the road, it's no point saying, they perform well at Old Trafford. Most teams perform well at their home ground with that whole backing of the fans and all that and their pitch and everything. On the road, he's got to fix on the road, Norm. If he can't fix on the road...
Your away record is terrible.
Yeah, if he can't fix on the road...
That's nine now defeats now.
Yeah.
Or 9 without a win. I think
it's probably more than that,
I think there's 1 draw in there. Might be 10
now.
Yeah. 1 draw in that and the rest are being defeats.
If they keep going away and climbing up, because you have to remember, this is like...
Maldini's available.
There's going to be a lot... Man, it's Old Trafford, man. There's going to be a lot of names, big and small, thrown. If
you see,
does he die on the hill? Does he die on the hill of Mason Mount and Anthony? Because that's what people are talking about. That he could die on the hill here.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, D, in all seriousness, these people that are coming in to take over your club, they listen. They're looking down the road at Man City. They're looking down the road at Man City, saying, you know what? I want to be better than them, and I'm going to go and get that next best manager. You know what I mean? They can't get Pep. They ain't going to get Pep, but they're going to go for a top class manager. Who that will be, we don't know. But these guys are going to be spending money.
And I think I said it.
The takeover comes, they're going to be spending money. I think January, they won't go too crazy, but come the summer.
This is what you'll find, Norm.
And then you will get your targets, mate.
You'll actually find that these guys will terminate and pay off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just to get rid of the dead wood. Yeah. So you know what? You can't sell them. Okay, how much do we have in 2 years? Here's your 2 years. Here you go. Contract ripped up. Bye. Because you can't fight it in court.
Yep.
They've terminated you. You got all your money owed. What? What's the court going to say? Nothing. Steve Bruce is available. Diego got jokes on me today. I love that, Diego, man. Keep that up, my bro. It's all good. No, you know what? It's not a point. It's not a point. Because, Diego,
it's got a record of keeping people up, you know?
You've had summer to address the style of play.
Yeah.
And if you look at whenever he played the second team always played better than the first team. This is what I noticed. Apart from the Arsenal game where we slapped you, man, twice between the goals and penalties. That was still funny though. I love that one. and that will never happen again if we continue playing like this, Norm. Not now. But the second team, where Sancho's come in and played as the false nine has always looked better than that first team.
Yeah. Now, Diego said it earlier on in the chat. You don't understand why he doesn't get a start. You know, he played in pre-season, done really well, and he's not even getting a start.
And he's because he's not a player. £75 million
worth of player sitting on that
bench. But
325 grand a week.
And that's what that's what Man United fans are not understanding. That 10 hours was like, I don't care. I didn't buy this guy. The club bought him. He was a club signing. Because remember, we chased this guy for what, 2.5 years?
Yep.
From Dortmund. So it's a club signing. Harry Maguire, who has a statue outside Old Trafford. He probably paid for it himself out of the earnings he's going to get from the parents. You know what I mean?
I thought Harry Maguire was a statue.
Wow, there you go. Yeah. And apparently, you know, as fans, we've been told to lay off him because people say it's abusive or the memes and all that.
No, I don't want to hear no slab heads on here. Yeah,
But this is my thing.
Don't call him a slab now. Don't call him a slab head now, D. Come on.
But allegedly, when he was bribing officials in officials in other countries in the prisons and the police station, allegedly Allegedly, I'm not trying to get Normski's country, right? Like, remember, he got a sit-down interview. Remember, I spoke about this.
Yep.
How many players you know are going to get a sit-down interview to justify that behavior abroad on holiday, not on a football trip, on your personal holiday, right? So he's been protected. So like the memes he gets is the memes he gets. So, you know, I'm not being derogatory to him or calling him an F word or anything like that. I'm saying this brother is not Man United levels. He's not Arsenal levels. He's not Liverpool levels. He's not Man City levels. Let's be honest. None of your clubs are taking him. Not one of your clubs are taking him. 100%. Otherwise, he would have gone already in the transfer window.
Yep.
Chelsea would have bought him. Chelsea got money out their ears. They would have bought him.
Yep.
No big clubs come in for the fridge. They say, not the fridge, the football player.
It's going to be turned into a big fridge.
No, but quickly, can I just address the Mason thing for 2 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, yeah. Okay. Let me
just for 2 minutes, because I'm going to say this about my club and people.
I know that was something I wanted to bring up. Just before you do that, hold on a minute. Let me just find the. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me just
loads
find
of statements,
this.
Norm. Don't even go to the statements. Tell your error out.
No, I'm not going to the statements. I'm just going to this.
Cool.
I'm just going to this. Okay, yeah, go on.
Right. So quickly, and I'll say this honestly, my club is an absolute disgrace, and the director of football needs to be fired, because for the last 10 days they have been putting out media in every way, which form, testing the waters to keep Mason, right? And only when high-profile people started coming out saying, you know what, yeah, I'm going to burn all my Man United shirts, I'm going to terminate my season ticket, I am no longer supporting Man United, they do this massive U-turn and talk about a sit-down, and they looked at him and you know, we discussed it, and all that was concerns felt that it was best that we parted ways. No, they fired him and paid up his contract. This is what happened, but they're not spinning it like that. Now, this guy has been wanting to play football from he got whatever happened, as in the courts decided that whoever was supposed to come forward with the evidence, they didn't come forward. So the case got, because remember, he wasn't found not guilty. The case got scrapped, or however you want to put it, because a lack of evidence and key witnesses removing themselves from the investigation. Right, so we all know who the key witness was. The person who's got pregnant was having his kid. The mayor would indicate that. I'm not even keeping up with it because I'm like, you know, I'm over that. But Man United did this for money. They didn't want to have to go out and buy another striker, so they were going to try and push him back into it. Now, regardless, I mean, Chile said it to me, but he was found not guilty. It's not the case. The case was thrown out. It wasn't like he went to court and the jury said, yeah, we've looked at all the evidence and all the videos and all. We saw what we saw. We heard what we saw. What we heard and what we saw, like, we saw it, Norm. It was there on social media for all to see. Whether we believe that we should have seen a longer video to see what led up to all this stuff, it doesn't really matter. If there's a level, we've all got wives and sisters and daughters and goddaughters and granddaughters, whatever. We've all got females that we're close to. If that's my sister, I'm telling you now, Norm, I'm putting on my black clothes and I'm going to look for Mason. Right? And when I get back to Wilden, Bishop Jackson have to lay hands on me and put me back in the pool and all that when I finish with Mason Greenwood, because I don't want that representing my club. Because you know what? The club should be saying, Mason, we have to terminate you for this because you brought the club in to distribute. We're not going to leave you hanging. We're going to get you some help. You need some help, my friend. And then if you wish to pursue a career elsewhere, that's okay with Manchester United. They have left the back door open for this kid, Norm. If you read the statement, even though he said he can't play for us now, the back door is still open.
I was gonna say, because the question is what now for Mason Mount now? What is his next move? Now, obviously with this situation where a lot of clubs
Greenwood.
Sorry, Greenwood.
Yeah,
sorry.
Greenwood.
Yeah. What did I say?
Mason Mount.
You said Mason Mount.
It's Mason Greenwood, Mason Mount. Sorry, you probably like to get rid of. You probably like to get rid of Mason Mount as well. But anyway,
right.
No, going back to Greenwood. What now for him now?
Well, to my understanding, the phone was ringing off the hook once United released that statement.
Yeah,
from teams.
But I'm hearing that a lot of Championship clubs don't want to touch him.
No, abroad. This is abroad.
This is abroad, right? Okay.
This is where he should go, and hear me out on this. He should go to Roma.
Yeah.
Right? and at least Jose knows him, and go to Roma and figure some stuff out. I think with a manager that will put his arm around you and be stern with you, like to say to you, listen, I know what you've been through. This can't happen at Roma. And
wasn't there supposed to be going to the Saudis?
Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, that's available to him. Yeah.
I don't think football is his problem. You have to remember, he hasn't played for 2 years.
Yeah,
so it's going to take this guy a couple of months, 3 months maybe, to get back up to speed, to get his body and get his head right. In that same time, he needs to be under some kind of counselling regime. He may have already done that. I doubt it, though. It's not what these young kids do.
Well, now they're rolling out. They're also. I hear that they're also rolling out something for the players at Man United now about how they should treat their partners and all the stuff like. You know what I mean? That's something
because unfortunately, Norm, it's not just Mason. And I don't want to get you cancelled, otherwise I would name some of the names.
Yeah.
He's the one that got caught, but there's a few of them on that lifestyle. The rough sex, the whatever, on the Charlie and all that kind of stuff. So these guys are not being drug tested either, to my understanding. You know how Rio got drug tested that time and never showed up?
Yeah.
Right? This needs to be this needs to be like every week after every game, 2 players get randomly drug tested. Right? And I don't care which players. It doesn't matter if you're a superstar, you're the captain. From Bruno downwards, every week, United, whatever, all the big teams, the players should get drug tested because I'm hearing some madness. Like I got family up in Manchester, and some stuff they're telling me goes on in the clubs in Manchester with these rich footballers. It's wild. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna bring that speculation, but he got caught. Let's just say that he's not the only one on that behavior. On that controlling behavior, and they're saying that drugs sometimes could be involved, so as much as weed as well. So,
that's a Villa. Do they play tonight? Do they play? Was this?
Europe qualifier for Europa. Europa qualifier.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. They beat who did they play? It was.
I had it on my phone earlier. I can't remember that. But
I did see.
What's them scored a hat trick, didn't he? Ollie Watkins scored a hat trick.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I can't remember who the team was against. They were playing. But
okay. That's how, like there's no hate on Mason. I just need him to get some help. But I think bringing him back was just the wrong. Like you don't want every press conference going to be about him. Come on, man. It's not what we're trying to do at Old Trafford, man. And I think the club did him a bit dirty by hanging him out to dry for the whole summer when he could have sorted a move out and be in someone's pre-season. But they wanted to save money and bring him back. It's all about money. All what you've read in the statements, you strip it all back. It's just about money, mate. They don't really care about what the optics look like, which is really bad. So I'm ashamed of my club in that behavior. That's not the way to behave, man. Right? Like hands on women is a no-no. I don't care who you are, how rich you are, how powerful you think you are.
Okay,
we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't be putting hands on women. Control your temper, control your passion, and walk away. Like we don't always get what we want in life. That's just life, you know. You don't mean we have to bully our way and muscle our way because we're bigger and stronger to get what we want. Especially when it comes to sex and all these things. Yeah, we have to be careful that we don't become a generation or a society of monsters that we feel we can just take what we want when we want it and how we want it. And that's what that looked to me.
And the fact that footballers feel that anybody that's that super rich and footballers, famous, athletes or whatever, sports stars, they always feel that they're above the law, because of the sort of money that they're getting.
He's not an ugly young man. He will never have a problem getting a girlfriend in Manchester. Trust me on that. He's not an ugly guy. And he's got money.
Right. Listen, let me say this though. You could be the ugliest guy. If you got a lot of money, you'll look good.
Exactly. But listen, we've seen it.
I appreciate that you've spoken up against your club and let's hope that this kind of let's hope it's going to go on, but whether it gets exposed again, you know what I mean? But hopefully these guys will be educated.
They have to stop doing this.
And they get educated on that. But listen, we are really gone over time. I did say it. But listen, we just had to talk, and it's good to talk, as they say. But let's just quickly finish off with what's going on prediction table. Now, my son let me down, so I wasn't able to
Oh, you haven't added a new one
to update. So, but basically, let's find it. Let's just find it again. So this is obviously last week's table. Let's just get to it if I can. What's happening here? Why isn't it doing anything? I just play up again. What's going on there? That one, I think it's this one. Right. So this is last week's table, guys, which was game week 1. So game week 2 was obviously played just last week. Now, as you can see, last week me, Kofi, and D got 1 point, but this week we all got 1 point. So when I show you the table next week with the other added points for game week 3, that table will look a lot different. But as it currently stands, Kofi, Big D, myself will be on 2 points currently, and Chili and Ez are on 1 point, because we all got the outcome right, but not the exact score. So D still tops it because of alphabetical reasons.
Still top of the league. That's all right, mate. That's all right.
We'll see what I go on there. And lastly, we just want to finish off with D, just doing a quick shout out for what's going on Fantasy League. I'm actually
going to see if I can share as well, Norm. If I can share the screen, I just want to see it
if you can. Click on there's like the present. It's not letting you. There's like
it clicks on, but I've got the page open, but I don't know.
When you click on the present button and down the bottom, does it show you like your tabs? And then you click on the tab, and then you hit the share button. So you should have your tabs at the top.
My tab's at the bottom. I'm on the Mac, you see.
Right. So when you click present, right, it says share. Have you got like a number of things that you can look at that you can share?
It just says sharing screens.
So when you click on present, it says share screen, and then it gives you like a list of like tabs in that screen, or like on the Chrome tab, or on your.
No, it's not open on Chrome. It's open on Safari. No worries.
Right. So
I'll just read it out. Sorry.
So you have to put, if you can try and do it, if you can get it on Chrome, that would be
better. I don't know how I would. I'll have to look at that. Just quickly, because I had it open anyway. Here we are. So we have Klopp Ayudat, which is Derry Grady. He's now top of our league after game week 2. Joint top with Sean Connolly, both on 141 points. Wow. So these guys are motoring. Yep. Like in the middle of the road, we got me and Kofi in the middle of the league. We're on 114 points.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So obviously,
what's Malcolm at FC? That's my missus.
Where is Malcolm FC? So she's 14th, 77 points. So she's 2 off the bottom. So she's doing all right. She's not.
She's a bit upset that Ireland didn't score this week, but
I think he let us all down. But never mind. That's one of them.
I think I've got points on Alvarez or something.
Oh, you got points on Alvarez?
Yeah.
Did anybody make a captain or anybody? Did you?
Make you done well, Kofi. You captain Alvarez. You done very well with that. Yeah. So we got obviously Del Grady and Sean, which is Rice Baby, and Klopp Ayudat. They are joint top on 140 points. So.
Wow.
They're already putting a bit of distance. Long
season.
But we've got some good front runners already.
All to play for, people. All to play for. But listen, I want to thank everybody for staying so long. We've gone nearly 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So it is a bit of a long stream, but I'm glad that you stayed with us. Thanks to all of you for your contribution. Please, when you're going out, hit that like button, subscribe and share. Please share it around with your friends and colleagues and the whole social media world, trying to hit this 300, this elusive 300, but slowly getting there. I think I'm 9 away from 300. So let's see if we can get me to there before Christmas. As I say, it's 1 stream a week. I know I need to step it up, but man, takes time and commitment. But listen, we keep going. We keep doing what we do. But I want to thank D. I want to thank Kofi for coming on and just discussing your team. Listen, game week 3, please, D, Kofi, Ez,
do your predictions.
And Chili, put it in the chat. Pick your team. We go game week 3. See how we go. Listen, Fulham. We got Fulham at home. I think that's a home win. That's a home banker. I don't know. Kofi's away to Man City.
Yeah, to Newcastle. I'm seeing a draw.
Oh, you're away to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're seeing a draw. Are you picking that? Is that what you're picking? Is that what you're going for?
No.
Are you keeping it to yourself? You're keeping it to yourself, yeah? I see D already put it in the chat. He's typing away. So
no, I'm typing away. No. I don't even know who's playing who. I realised that was a Friday night game this week.
And people, put in the chat, what's your predictions for this weekend? How do you think Arsenal's going to get on? How do you think Crystal Palace is going to get on? Man City, Newcastle, Liverpool. Put it in the chat. Let us know what you think. But listen, people, thank you so much for staying with us once again. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And listen, people, we are out of here. Take care and God bless.
Yeah, man.